Tonight, a bump in the road for the auto sector. Major Ontario job losses on the table. The latest trade war casualties.
If you can't get a deal, let's start hitting them back.
Plus, a return to normal for campus life. Support staff reach a tentative agreement ending a province-wide strike. And a blown call blows their season.
We thought we had a chance to win the game and definitely add to the disappointment.
The referee's error costing a local football team in the playoffs.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin with the latest fallout from the U.S. trade war. One of North America's major automakers, Stellantis, could be packing up production in Brampton, moving it to Illinois. Mike Lecouture has more on the response from government leaders.
Industry Minister Melanie Joly wouldn't specify exactly how, but the federal government is considering legal action against Stellantis.
We will make sure that we push the company and we hold them to account.
A letter from Melanie Joly to the company's CEO identifies legally binding commitments the car company made in the past as part of a deal with Canada and Ontario.
We've invested millions of dollars in that facility based on the commitment that they would be investing in a new model. And so that's why, if they don't do so, we'll hold them to account.
Ontario's premier is also digging in.
I'm not going to give them a penny because it was tied in to making sure Windsor and keep Brampton going.
Doug Ford says the head of Stellantis told him yesterday they were going to find a new model for the Brampton plant and move 1,500 workers to the one in Windsor. In a statement, Stellantis said Canada is very important to us, adding, "We have plans for Brampton and will share them upon further discussions with the Canadian government." But Doug Ford believes the car company is shifting $13 billion in investment to the U.S. because of trade uncertainty triggered by President Donald Trump.
That guy, President Trump, he's a real piece of work. You know something? What my message to the Prime Minister when I meet him on Thursday is if you can't get a deal, let's start hitting him back.
Canadian vehicles to grow our auto industry.
Prime Minister Mark Carney campaigned on standing up to Trump. However, in recent months, Canada has removed most counter tariffs on U.S. products except steel, aluminum, and autos. In a post on social media, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre claimed the Prime Minister sold out workers and let their jobs move to the U.S. The minister responsible for trade with the U.S., Dominic LeBlanc, returned to Washington on Monday. He's working with Canadian negotiators to continue talks with their American counterparts on trade. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
The mayor of Amherstburg says municipal leaders are in talks with officials from one business potentially interested in taking over the Crown Royal bottling facility slated for closure.
We have had discussions with one group, and that one group wants to use the Diageo plant and produce alcoholic beverages. It would be a much larger operation than Diageo.
The mayor is refusing to publicly identify the business at this stage, but says the company would buy the plant from Diageo. If that doesn't go through, an alternative location has already been determined. Premier Doug Ford has said 3 businesses have shown interest in the site, which is the town's largest employer with about 200 workers.
It's one of the reasons that they came here, trying to buy this, because you go around the world and open up a new factory and then hire 200 new people, none of whom knows what they're doing. It takes some time. So they really like this idea.
A 5-week strike at Fanshawe College will end tomorrow with support staff returning to work. Union leaders say they've reached a tentative agreement which should bring normal operations back to campuses across Ontario. With more from Fanshawe, here's Sean Irvin.
Fanshawe College was quiet Wednesday as most classes were on hiatus for study week. But amongst the students still around, it appeared many were unaware a strike by 800 support staff was resolved pending a ratification vote.
Oh, I didn't know that it's over.
It is over?
It's over? Oh, that's good.
With word spreading, other students expressed relief that normal operations would resume. Throughout the strike, most have struggled to access student services and equipment.
Our labs were constantly missing equipment and stuff like that because it wasn't getting repaired fast enough. And now our testing will be able to be in class again as opposed to being online.
The tentative agreement will be revealed to OPSU support staff members in a series of information meetings. The return to work as voting on the new agreement takes place. Provincially, the union argues it won more than a contract. It says it was out to fight for the loss of 10,000 jobs and 650 college programs. But the workers represented by OPSU Local 109 at Fanshawe expect the best agreement possible.
Absolutely, yeah, but especially that job security piece that we've been waiting for with all the layoffs and the low funding across the province. That is the one piece we were waiting on, so I'm really excited to hear what they were able to negotiate for that.
Visser acknowledges the 5-week strike had begun to take a toll on her members and students facing academic and accommodation challenges.
The student support services are so important, and the students are the future of our country. So having that funding that we need and being able to support our students in the best possible way while also protecting these great jobs for people was really, really important to us.
While some students support the strike action, they also agree with the decision by colleges to keep the doors open during the dispute.
From my perspective, it would have really disrupted my career if they would have shut the college down.
In London, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
An update today from LHSC leadership after the hospital launched legal action in the summer over an apparent fraud scheme involving high-ranking officials and tens of millions of dollars. It was part of a much larger community update meeting. With more on today's message, here's Rita Ismail.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us.
For the first time since London Health Sciences Centre filed several statements of claim suing former employees and contractors over an alleged fraudulent scheme, hospital supervisor David Mouche spoke publicly.
When I became and was made aware of some of the concerning information, that's when I engaged the London Police Service to investigate. At the same time, we opened an internal forensic audit conducted by a third party.
Mouche updated the public on the ongoing investigations into past procurement practices that allegedly defrauded the hospital of tens of millions of dollars over more than a decade. LHSC says it has taken several measures to ensure this doesn't happen again, including auditing and oversight, process improvements, vendor compliance programs, leadership and governance renewal, and whistleblower protection.
I don't want to come across that this will eliminate this from ever happening again. Anyone who says that's not living in reality. What cannot happen again is for an event like this to happen and happen over such an extended period of time. That's got to stop. You got to put in checks and balances in place in order to ensure it doesn't last for a decade or more.
The hospital also hired auditing firm KPMG to conduct a third-party review.
To hire them, it's in the middle 6 figures annually. And it all depends on the volume of work. So that's kind of the general amount, but it's well worth the investment. When you're dealing with a $1.8 billion organization, to spend that type of money in order to support internal audit staff and bring in that expertise. And the great thing about KPMG is they're connected with multiple hospitals doing this work across the province.
During the hour-long community update, hospital staff also provided information on the upcoming cold and flu season, as well as new initiatives being launched across the organization. Rita Ismail, CTV News.
London municipal officials say water in the city's south end may have a temporary taste or smell, but it's not a cause for concern. Parts of South London get water from Lake Erie, and according to city officials, the changes are from naturally occurring organic compounds in the lake, which are expected to clear up in about a week. They say the water is safe to drink, and it's regularly tested.
Good evening. I hope you're having a great one. Temperatures across the area today coming up this afternoon. Daytime highs hitting 15 to 16 degrees in southern Ontario. Temperatures in midwestern Ontario 11 to 12. So stunning conditions across the region. As we head over the next couple of hours, we are starting to see the temperatures drop off. So getting cool out there this evening. If you are heading out for a late evening walk, you'll definitely need a jacket. Skies will be mainly clear. We are under the influence of high pressure, and we will have some frosty conditions in spots overnight. In London, over the next couple of hours, the temperature will dip down to about 8 degrees. Winds out of the north continue, and by midnight, we're at 5. Coming up, I'll take you through the forecast. An absolutely spectacular Thursday on the way with sunshine, but we will be dodging rain showers in the extended forecast. I'll have that for you coming up in just a few minutes. Carlyle, back to you.
Thank you, Julie. London police say one person is in hospital with critical injuries after they were hit by a driver last night in East London. Police say it happened around 8:30 p.m. last night at Dundas and Vancouver streets. They say the man was seen walking a bicycle when he was hit, and the driver who hit him remained at the scene. Police are asking anyone with information or dash cam video to contact them. Lambton public health officials have issued a toxic opioid advisory. They say they've detected 2 new substances in street drugs, which are potentially dangerous. According to the health unit, additional Narcan doses may be needed for overdosing patients. Naloxone kits are available for free through Lambton Public Health and local pharmacies. A major funding announcement today for supportive housing at the former South Street Hospital lands.
Tackling homelessness across Canada, building deeply affordable units, and partnering with private builders to double the pace of home building, while we're going to be using Canadian technology, Canadian lumber, and Canadian skilled trades.
The money is coming from the federal government's Build Canada Homes Agency, which was launched to expedite home construction. The federal government and City of London have pledged more than $10 million for 42 supportive homes on South Street inside the former War Memorial Children's Hospital. A nonprofit will operate the facility with spaces reserved for Londoners experiencing homelessness or at risk of homelessness.
We got deeply affordable rents. We got rent geared towards income units, and we have highly supportive housing, all within one neighborhood that was formerly hospital lands the provincial government owned, had decommissioned the hospital and wasn't being used. And now we're going to have hundreds and hundreds of people of all walks of life and all different means living together in a revitalized Soho community.
Sarnia's Heart Hub is expected to launch next month. It's a facility built to support people battling addiction, mental health issues, and homelessness. With more on the project, here's Jerry Dewan.
Representatives from a number of social agencies discussed the vision for the Homeless and Addiction Recovery Treatment Hub, or Heart Hub, with addiction treatment a focus for the region.
Opioid-related deaths in Lambton are nearly double the provincial average.
The Heart Hub's central location is set to open on November 4th at what is now the headquarters of the Lambton-Kent Mental Health Association.
Living facilities are going to be here. There's currently renovations and construction happening to relocate a kitchen and to create some suitable space. Then there will be a need for some desks and some offices, but there's a lot that's already existing in the building.
The CMHA headquarters will move to the nearby Lambton County Shared Services Building. Another key component of the hub concept will be at the former Sarnia Collegiate Institute and Technical School, better known as SCITS. It will be home to transition beds for people recovering from addictions who have made it through the addiction recovery program at Blue Water Health's Sarnia Hospital and Phase 2 management at Ryan's House.
People can then move on through the transition beds into safe and affordable housing, and we hope that that's going to be a very successful outcome of a longer stay in the recovery plan.
Like many communities, Sarnia has grappled with encampments like the one recently dismantled at Rainbow Park. Hub proponents say new supportive residential locations are key to keeping people housed, including a planned 50-unit facility on George Street run by Indwell. Outreach teams will also be critical.
They choose very well where they're going to be going to, so they try to do some hot spots that are high emergency users or high homelessness users of the system, and they go to those spots to kind of meet the people where they're at.
Rayom Zimmer says the region's history of agencies working cooperatively positions them well to see success stories from the Heart Hub concept.
We really are working under a no wrong door concept, that everyone is going to be very aware of each other's resources, and it's going to be a direct handover from one program to the other.
The province has committed $5 million a year over the next 3 years to support the Sarnia-Lambton Heart Hub. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
Local conservationists say they'll be able to expand their protected lands in Midwestern Ontario thanks to a substantial private donation. Scott Miller has more on the growing region of Ontario where nature takes precedence over development.
46 hectares of deciduous forests, wetlands, and even an inland lake near Wyerton are now protected from development forever.
We're in the business of conservation and in perpetuity. Absolutely. So no development.
Thanks to a donation from a Bruce County family, 46 hectares or 113 acres of land between Owen Sound and Wyerton is now in the hands of the Nature Conservancy of Canada. They protect 15 million hectares of land across the country from development, including 2,000 hectares along the diverse and environmentally sensitive Bruce Peninsula.
The peninsula is renowned in terms of a biodiversity hotspot amongst the Great Lakes, and this property allows a lot of different species to thrive there.
The Bruce Peninsula is home to more than 50 species of fern and is an international haven for orchids, of all things.
We've got 42 native orchid species, which is a lot. It's the highest kind of density of orchid species anywhere north of the Everglades in Florida, which is pretty remarkable when you think about the different habitat types between the two.
The donated land, known as the Mountain Lake property for its inland lake, builds on a recent purchase by Nature Conservancy of 29 hectares of land near Tobermory that was facing development pressures. The region is well known for its importance for migrating mammals and birds.
This property is great in that it provides a bit of a stepping stone for species as they're moving, to northern Canada, and then back down to the United States and even farther into South America. So it's really creating, kind of that more resilient landscape across the country as a whole.
Near Wyerton, Scott Miller, CTV News.
The Grand Theatre's new season is underway, kicking off with a slapstick Broadway hit. With more on this production of The Play That Goes Wrong, here's Nick Paparella.
It's had successful runs on Broadway and in the UK. Now The Play That Goes Wrong is hitting the stage at the Grand Theatre in London.
The Play That Goes Wrong is about a performing troupe from England called the Cornley Players, and they're coming to the Grand to put on their play, The Murder Mystery, The Murder at Haversham Manor. So what you see looks like a murder mystery, and they're all playing the parts of a murder mystery. But what you're experiencing really is this troupe trying to hold it together and everything falling apart.
A familiar name is the director of the play, former Grand Theatre Artistic Director Dennis Garnham.
It's very hard to make something look so bad and go so wrong so much. So as the director, that's my job, is to make it safe and make it fun. And so like every, giving it away a bit, every 20 seconds something goes wrong. So there's a lot of work in terms of staging. It's been staged very specifically. I can't sit back. I have to kind of be involved with every last moment of everything.
The Play That Goes Horribly, Hysterically, and Terribly Wrong is now on at the Grand Theatre until November 2nd.
I think the biggest celebration of this show is that the show does go on. They keep going. Things fall apart. Things drop. Things break. And they just keep going. They forget lines. Somebody didn't show up. Somebody shows up at the wrong time. Everything in this show has happened in the theater, at the Grand Theatre, I'm sure, at some point.
Nick Paparella, CTV News.
Coming up, a local boxer, now a world champion after a lengthy hiatus.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Well, welcome back. It's the Tee Up with Brent Lail. And Brent, we're starting with a controversy on the football field this week and a playoff loss for the London Beefeaters.
Yeah, what would have been a last-second victory and a berth in the OFC final was stolen from the Beefeaters by the referees. With 5 seconds left against Hamilton, the Beefeaters come up with a game-winning field goal block and they celebrate a 23-20 win. However, multiple referees threw flags for too many men on the field. They would eventually lose the game in overtime. The problem is they didn't have too many men on the field. They only had 12 players, so a miscount by the officials essentially ended their season.
Anytime your season ends so abruptly, I think it's obviously disappointing. We thought we had a chance to win the game, and some of the circumstances surrounding the end of the game definitely add to the disappointment, but we're usually disappointed every year at some point when the season ends without a championship, so we're just trying to get ready for the next year.
Brutal way to end for sure. Brent, we're also looking forward to a battle between a pair of unbeaten teams in OUA football.
Yeah, rivals Laurier and Western, both 7-0 going into the final regular season game. The winner gets the #1 seed and a first-round bye.
If you look kind of over the last, 10 years or so, a lot of times it's been the team that got the bye that won the Yates Cup. It's a huge advantage, not having to risk injuries. Yeah, this is a huge game.
The pivotal clash could come between Laurier's stout run defense, which allows the fewest yards per game, and Western's rush offense led by Ethan Dolby. He set a single-season rushing record at Western, passing legend Tim Tyndale this week. He'll add to that total as they play the Golden Hawks. Kickoff is 1 p.m. at Western. And how about this? The CTH Crusaders jumped to 3rd in the country, according to Canada Football Chat. They're 5-0, and they'll be heavy favorites when they wrap up the regular season Friday afternoon against St. Joe's.
Now, Brent, a local team is headed overseas in a sport with growing interest worldwide.
Yeah, Carlyle, I can honestly say I'd never heard of walking soccer until this group of women reached out to me. Team Canada getting some training at the BMO Centre before taking on the world later this month in Spain. Walking soccer requires 1 foot on the ground at all times, and it's intended for players who struggle with the wear and tear of running. This group of women will compete across Ontario in the 50-plus division and includes 6 Londoners.
Walking soccer is a great new sport. It's bigger in Europe. It's just developing here. We're trying to get it going. It's for people that can't run anymore, don't want to get tackled, don't want to get hurt. And it's still the same skill level, if anything more, because you have to pace the ball and you can't run onto it.
And finally, Brent, a London boxer is a world champion after a win in Washington, D.C. this week.
Yeah, Natasha Spence went 5 years without an in-ring fight because no one was willing to touch gloves with her. This week, she showed why so many women were afraid. With a booming right hand and relentless pressure, Natasha, the Nightmare Spence, is the new WBA female international middleweight world champion.
The late nights, the pain, the loneliness, the doubt, I knew it would all pay off.
The 40-year-old Londoner out of Boomers Boxing Club has been fighting above her weight class against the top contenders in the world. Now she's back where she belongs and has her confidence and swagger back after a pair of victories.
Just have fun, and when I have fun, I flow and results.
She earned the nickname The Nightmare by striking fear into her opponents. Now she has her sights set on an iconic WBA title.
We won a green belt at Boomers. We're representing a legacy for Boomers, and we want to just keep hanging them belts in the club.
What's good with you, all right?
A thrill for her was having the support and backing of boxing legend Roy Jones Jr.
After my fight, he came up to me and was like, we got to talk. He's like, you're the real deal.
After returning back to London, she got a special call.
I look at my phone, it says Roy Jones Jr. on it, and I'm still like, is this real? Nothing but great things to say, and he's an amazing man.
From London, Ontario. Now she's out here hanging out with the world champ, Roy Jones Jr. Y'all must have forgot, right? So it's real, recognized real at the end of the day.
Spence has become an overnight success, 21 years in the making. Her birth certificate says 40. But her mind and body think differently.
Anyone that knows me knows I live, breathe, eat, sleep, walk, talk boxing. Like, I shadow box in my sleep. I shadow box in the grocery store. Like, gotta buy a new display shelf. more room for more belts.
She'll take a brief break after the wear and tear of an 8-round bout, but it won't be long before she's back in the ring.
That's just been the name of my game, is stay ready. When the call comes, we answer it. It's that simple.
Brent Lyle, CTV News.
Julie Atchison on the desk with me now, enjoying some midweek sunshine here in this mid-October. It's been nice, I would say. We're getting some cooler mornings. It's typical this time of year, though, where we get the big swing. Layers are important this time of year that you can maybe peel off.
For sure. We're around the freezing mark first thing in the morning and then into the mid-teens in the afternoon. Just beautiful October weather today. Made it to almost 16 degrees this afternoon, so we just round up just a bit. Our low temperature at 10, so comparing that with what's normal, 14 and 4. So yes, once again, coming in above. High pressure building in through northern Ontario expands southward. Overnight, that will keep us in the clear. Frosty conditions expected in and around Chatham, Mount Forest, KW as the temperatures edge close to the freezing mark. But I want to draw your attention to a big area of low pressure that's developing across the Central Plains. So over the next couple of days, that's very slow moving, but it will continue to get organized. And this is going to draw some warm air towards the Great Lakes Basin. And temperatures are expected to climb as we head into the weekend. So as we take a look at our satellite radar this evening, skies, yes, mainly clear. We have a few mid to high level clouds. Other than that, conditions quiet, clear overnight, and temperatures dropping off. Across Canada, though, you can see it's looking rather autumn-like from coast to coast, with temperatures in the single digits across parts of the southern prairies tonight. Northwestern Ontario at 12 degrees, and temperatures are starting to drop off. Going out 48 hours, beautiful weather on the way for tomorrow, a gorgeous Thursday. Friday, this area of low pressure starts to move in with a chance of showers. Now, this forecast model is indicating a bit more in the way of rainfall early in the day. Friday, Environment Canada firing off that rain as we head into Friday night. So we're going to go with a chance of showers early in the day Friday, but that probability continuing to increase. There'll be some lulls in the precipitation over the weekend, but we will be dodging some rainfall as we head into Saturday night. Once again, another round coming in. Overnight, 3 degrees toward the Bruce Peninsula and the Lake Erie shoreline near Lake Huron tonight, anywhere from 2 to 4 degrees. Waking up to sunshine, fresh conditions and light winds. Winds out of the north as we head into the afternoon, and the high 15 degrees. Beautiful out there for checking out all of the leaves. We're starting to see a major color change take hold in this area. So just some gorgeous leaf viewing. Friday, chance of showers, that 30% chance will ramp up. I'm expecting that probability actually as we head into tomorrow. We'll likely see that climb. On Saturday, dry to start the day. Saturday night, we have rain in the forecast. This is the area of low pressure coming in. We'll stay mild, though. Saturday, look at that, 21 degrees. 17 with showers and gusty winds on Sunday. The cold front comes through, and then unsettled. We haven't said that in a while. Early next week, Monday and Tuesday, chance of showers, about a 40% chance. Daytime highs anywhere from 14 to 15 degrees, and mainly cloudy Wednesday. So Thursday, lots of sunshine, and then heading into Saturday during the day, beautiful and dry, but Saturday night rain. So those are our 2 days where we'll have full sunshine. Other than that, we'll be talking cloud cover and the chance for rainfall. So showers developing in southern Ontario on a Friday, and then nighttime rain. Saturday dry to start, and then another round coming in Saturday night. Sunday wet and windy. Monday showers and gusty winds, and the chance for showers lingering Tuesday into Wednesday as we head towards northern Huron, Perth, and Grey Bruce. So enjoy that sunshine tomorrow. Looks like a great day, Carlyle, to be outdoors. I know this time of year I take advantage. Every morning I try to get out at least for 15 minutes or sometimes an hour, but get out and walk and just enjoy the crisp conditions. Do you get out in the morning sometime?
Well, we can. We should be for sure, Julie. Much agreed. Thanks very much. Well, later on CTV News, the financial stress on Canadians and the physical toll it's taking.
Winning continues tomorrow for a Winning Wednesday. Be listening at 7:10 for your next chance to score Eric Church tickets.
And it doesn't stop there. 8:40, we got more Luke Combs tickets. Good luck.
A new real estate survey shows Canada's housing market is balancing out with easing prices, more listings, and improved affordability. The Royal LePage survey found home prices should drop 3% in Toronto and 2% in Vancouver this fall. In Montreal, though, home prices could jump as much as 6.5%. The aggregate home price across Canada is expected to rise 1% to about $830,000. That's still 5% lower than the peak of the pandemic home pricing crunch back in the spring of 2022. In general, Canadians are feeling more stress associated with money. According to a new report, that strain is even manifesting in physical stress symptoms over their financial situation. With more, here's Scott Hurst.
Having concerns and worrying about money is something pretty much all of us can relate to, but financial stress is proving to have a real-life impact far beyond our wallet, a growing impact on our overall well-being, not just our mental health, but our physical health as well. And the United Way is seeing the affordability challenges for so many Canadians become much more severe. That's according to a new survey for United Way through Leger, and more than half of Canadian residents who took part in the survey, 55%, are at the very least anxious about their personal finances. It's all adding up to more stress and much more of a burden. About 4 in 10, 41%, report actual physical stress symptoms when talking about money, and that leads to the most severe question: what happens if you ultimately can't make ends meet all of a sudden? And 42% of respondents say they would only be able to cover their basic expenses for less than 1 month if they lost their job, meaning so many of us are so dependent on each and every paycheck. Financial stress does cut across all income levels, but as you might expect, the overall physical and mental impacts, the toll is much more acute and severe for people making less money. Here's more from United Way.
As you get lower down the income spectrum, for some of our lower income neighbors and friends, they're really feeling these impacts significantly.
Data from 211 United Way's national helpline shows that calls for financial assistance have increased more than 50% just from last year and more than 60% from 2 years ago. Ultimately, that emphasizes the significant financial strain Canadians are feeling right now. Scott Hurst, CTV News, Toronto.
The federal Conservatives are pitching a plan to improve job prospects for young workers. As Abigail Beeman reports, right now, youth unemployment is at a 15-year high.
Keep your hand up if you've applied to more than 20 jobs already.
The latest jobs numbers don't surprise this group of university students.
I must have applied to like 70 jobs or something like that, and most of them just don't get back to you.
Then you have to really push and be desperate for the job if you really want to get anything. And even then, there's all these AI screenings.
While Canada's unemployment rate sits at 7.1%, Statistics Canada puts youth unemployment at 14.7%, the highest since 2010, excluding COVID years.
We are calling on the government to take our constructive ideas and include them in Budget 2025.
The Conservatives released the rest of their youth jobs plan today. New pieces include a 1-year 100% capital cost tax write-off for employers that build housing for employees, and a change to the federal grant and loan financial assistance program to give more help for in-demand fields.
The government should establish a process for making objective determinations about what areas of study are more or less likely to lead to positive career outcomes.
Tax incentives. This is the solution that both Conservatives and Liberals have provided for basically every economic problem for decades.
This economist would like to see a bigger picture response, focus on creating demand, while these students give the Conservative plan mixed reviews.
I think providing housing would give us more opportunities to get those jobs in smaller cities.
You can see a lot of, particularly the schools, pulling away from focusing on the arts, and I feel like by the Conservatives promoting this kind of plan, it may even further that.
The Jobs Minister's office tells CTV News the Liberal government has created more than 130,000 job opportunities for young people and promises more to say on youth unemployment soon. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's main stock index notched another record high today, helped by strength in basic materials stocks. The TSX climbed 284 points. In New York, the Dow lost 17. The Nasdaq added 148. The Canadian dollar up just 1/100 of a cent. On commodity markets, gold gained more than $38 an ounce. Oil fell 43 cents a barrel. Still to come, counting down to first pitch, we look ahead to a critical Game 3 and all the nerves for Blue Jays fans.
5K a day is back on 97.5.
Virgin Radio.
Listen to Jeff, KP, and Backstage Ben for your chance to win $5,000.
Every weekday.
5K a day.
Virgin Radio.
Welcome back. London City Councillors approved a micro-shelter complex in London's South End last night. With more on the facility and how it will operate, here's Jerry Dewan.
I don't expect this to be perfect, but I do think that we have to do something.
Mayor Josh Morgan championed the project that will see 60 modular units constructed near the intersection of Wilton Grove Road and Cheese Factory Road. The site will also include a trailer that will house washroom and laundry facilities. There will be security and staff to support the residents at the site. But the speed with which this project came together means there are still a number of questions to be answered.
We've heard from a number of frontline agencies, community experts, outside experts, other municipalities that have shared their thoughts and obstacles that we need to overcome, including how we design the space, how we create space for all sorts of people.
The city has committed about $7 million to establishing and running the site, with the money coming from a recently announced property tax surplus. The plan passed unanimously, but Councillor Susan Stevenson continues to raise concerns that the city will end up being tied to maintaining this site or something similar to it, and that will become an ongoing cost to taxpayers.
It feels like it's contrary to the policies. It's contrary to, again, the taxpayers that I listen to that are on the brink of homelessness themselves.
City staff say the micro-shelters will be on city-owned property acquired for industrial development, which gives the site a 2-year window.
So this would then either be direction through 2027 budget amendment or the next multi-year budget to look at what the next phase looks like.
Community and Protective Services Committee Chair David Ferreira says the next discussion may not only be about relocation, but about expansion based on ongoing housing pressures. He and others around the council table say there has to be a more sustainable approach to the issues, which would include input from the province.
I would love to see us not have to use the micro-shelter site. I would love to have that, but you know, the foreseeable future, I think we can all agree that that's probably not very likely.
Morgan says the goal is to have most, if not all, of the micro-shelter units available by the end of the year. Jerry Dewan, CTV News.
There's a new online tool for local patients booking breast cancer screening appointments. St. Joseph's Healthcare now has a self-scheduling portal created in line with new provincial rules, which recommend screenings start at age 40. St. Joe's officials say more than 1,000 appointments were booked during the program's soft launch. They say this should improve access, ease pressure on phone lines, and increase the chances of earlier detection. Provincial healthcare officials say they are halfway through clearing the Healthcare Connect wait list for primary care. According to the health minister, 118,000 people have connected with a family doctor, half the number of people who were waiting on January 1st. Government officials say they want to clear the entire wait list by the spring, while getting every Ontarian set up with a doctor, nurse, or primary care team by 2029. It's part of a $2.1 billion provincial government investment. Video from a London animal removal company has gone viral.
All right, buddy, hang on.
This happened over the weekend. A raccoon was stuck, needing some help getting out of a hole near Adelaide and Oxford. A worker from Forest City Wildlife Control was called, who provides a rope, gently pulling the raccoon out, which quickly jumps down the ladder, running away unharmed. The video of the whole encounter has more than 12 million views online.
Tonight, a demand for answers.
How the hell did that get into New Zealand?
An innocent young man dead from meth disguised as Canadian beer.
You have the right to remain silent.
Arrests in New Zealand, but W5 is on the hunt for the Canadian criminals who exported the drugs. W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and CTVnews.ca.
weather photo of the day comes to us from Oxford County. Thank you so much, David Dixon from Woodstock, for sending this one in. Beautiful fall colors are popping in the area. Sunshine for your Thursday and a cool start to the day. Temperatures are set to warm heading into the weekend, and we have some showers that will roll into the region on Friday.
Police in Edmonton say they've shut down an elaborate poppy growing operation. 60,000 plants were seized and destroyed, suspected of being destined for the illicit opioid market. With more on the bust, here's Merrick Takash.
Edmonton police say a farm in northeast Edmonton was growing something quite unusual in this part of the world.
Opium poppies, they can be used to produce a number of substances with significant analgesic effects to them, such as heroin and morphine and other such opioids.
4 people have been arrested in connection with the alleged opium poppy operation near 34th Street and 195th Avenue.
About 60,000 plants being grown in a backfield at that location.
This property is within city limits, but as you can see, it's quite a rural area surrounded by farmland northeast of the Anthony Henday, just off Highway 15.
There was a bunch of trucks and other vehicles on site, but the crops, it was only this being grown.
Police say a poppy growing operation of this size is extremely rare in Canada.
We did come across individual plants being grown by people the odd time. Calgary, I believe, had also a smaller scale one. But nothing in this scale. We haven't seen anything like that.
The only other time we've really come across a commercial level grow like this was back in 2010 in Chilliwack, BC.
Police say the plants have an estimated value of between $160,000 and $500,000.
So it was good work by these investigators to locate and destroy this crop before it was able to be sent out and cause that harm to our community.
Police were led to the property after receiving a tip. 4 men are being charged with production of a controlled substance. Merrick Takash, CTV News, Edmonton.
Israeli officials have now reopened a major border crossing, allowing limited aid into Gaza as more bodies of hostages are returned.
This is a very, very sad day for us. We don't know who they are, but they are a part of us, a part of our people, a brother, a father, someone that we cared about, and we wanted to see him back home.
Local authorities say 4 bodies arrived overnight at a forensic identification center believed to be dead hostages. Israeli officials later said one of the bodies does not match any of the hostages, though. A critical part of the ongoing ceasefire agreement has been the return of all hostages, living and dead. At that border crossing, Israeli officials are reportedly allowing only half the agreed numbers of trucks into Gaza. They had delayed the opening in response to Hamas' refusal to release hostage bodies. Hamas officials have said in response, locating the bodies has proven difficult. Canada's defense minister attended a NATO meeting in Europe today, part of efforts supporting Ukraine.
To indicate Canada's commitment to the 2% target, a target we will meet 5 full years ahead of schedule as we rebuild, rearm, and reinvest in Canada's Canadian Armed Forces. We're investing in our people, we're investing in our bases, we're investing in our equipment. But I want to also make it very clear, Canada is fully committed to the alliance. Canada is fully committed to Ukraine. And I'm looking forward to today's discussions. I think they will be productive at an important moment.
There's been a sharp drop in weapon and ammunition deliveries to Ukraine in recent months. Ukrainian leaders say they need between $12 and $20 billion worth of military aid in the next year, part of a new NATO initiative to purchase U.S. weapons. Changes are coming for teenager Instagram users restricted to PG-13 content by default, unable to change their settings without parental permission. According to Instagram, the content those accounts will be able to see will be similar to what would constitute a PG-13 movie. No sex, drugs, dangerous stunts, or inappropriate behavior. The company is also adding an even stricter setting, which parents can set up themselves for their kids. The changes are seen as a response to relentless pressure on the social media giant over the readily available harmful content on the app.
Every day, people are working to bring hope to those struggling with homelessness and addiction. Watch The Helpers on CTV News at 6, starting next week, as we share their stories and ways that you can make a difference.
Welcome back. The Toronto Blue Jays need some road wins to keep their season alive. However, as Andrew Johnson reports, they might just get some decent traveling support in Seattle.
The Jays have a lot on the line. At risk of going down 3-0. They could use all of the crowd support they can get, and they'll find it here in Seattle, which over the years has become almost a home away from home. Thousands of Toronto Blue Jays fans have made the road trip over the border and down the I-5 from Metro Vancouver to cheer on Canada's team when they need it most.
Little nervous. Fingers crossed for today, though. I have faith in them.
But you still feel good?
I do. What about you, buddy?
Yeah, I feel happy. Yeah.
Are we calling a win tonight?
Hopefully, yeah.
Others are arriving on the water. A special ferry sailing added for fans to make the trip from BC's capital.
We're pretty excited. This is our first game that I'm taking her to.
Last 2 games, they just didn't have their bats quite on. They just need to score some more runs.
Over the years, Jays fans have sometimes even outnumbered Seattle Mariners fans in their own ballpark. So the locals here know what's coming.
It's not too far from the border, so we're probably expecting a lot of them from Vancouver out here.
There are also plenty of Mariners fans in BC. They're here too. After 2 home losses to start the series, the odds are not on Toronto's side, with Seattle fans salivating over being 2 wins away from the club's first ever World Series berth. Tonight's Game 3, Game 4, and Game 5, if necessary, will all be played here at T-Mobile Park. Toronto will need to take 2 out of 3 on enemy territory to bring this ALCS back to Rogers Centre. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Seattle.
And finally tonight, a Canadian pilot sharing his Blue Jay fandom in the sky, drawing the team's logo with his plane's flight plan. The flight departed from Halifax around 11:30 a.m., flying northeast to create the team's logo. The pilot has 27 years experience and said it was a challenging project, sketching the logo out first, then converting it into an actual flight plan with an aviation app. That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. I'm back tonight with your late news at 11. Bye for now.